don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being, that my life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this 234th episode of the Political Spotlight. My name's Kristopher H. Bilbrey. I am your host, and we've got no clue what's going on. No clue what's going on. And what I mean by that is we've got a guest that we're going to pull up here in just 1 second. But we got out of the meeting, and I noticed I got to the car, and the meeting is just still going. I mean, the meeting was over, but the feed was still going. And I'm like, what's going on? The meeting hasn't been shut off. And so I get in our messages, and I'm like, see nothing, and I'm texting, and I'm like, what's going on? And I get in the duck, and I see Kate's chair is there, but no Kate. Now, I called my grandparents. My grandparents are still at home. So I was kind of thinking maybe it was the rapture and Kate had been raptured. But then I thought, who am I kidding? I'm not sure that's what happened. So it would be way crazy if Kate was raptured and, my grandparents are still here. So who knows what's going on, but no Kate. I have no idea where Kate is. No Kate in the duck. No message from Kate. No clue what's going on. But we're here and we're going to make it happen. If Kate wasn't, raptured up into the sky or whatever, we may or may not see her at some point. I'm sure there's a story. And then just like that, my guest just disappeared. Now my guest isn't even in the duck. So I don't know what's going on. My guest being Audie Barber. Wouldn't that be crazy if Kate and Audie were raptured? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on here. I'm getting a phone call from somebody right now. Give me just 1 second. Hello. Yes, I will. I'll do it. Absolutely. There's no question. That's exactly. I will absolutely do that. Hey, I just went live. All right, bye. A source contacted me about the meeting. So Okay, well, all right, folks. So we'll go ahead and get through some housekeeping until Audie returns or Kate pops in. Or I don't know. Who knows what's going on? We'll have to see. We'll have to see what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. This is the 234th episode of the podcast, the recap and analysis of the July 1st, 2024 Muncie City Council meeting. Okay, good. Thank God Audie has just popped back up in the duck. Give me 1 second, Audie, here, and I'll pull you up. Before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I want to remind you that we are, of course, live. And if you're watching live, we thank you for watching. Wherever you're watching from, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, TikTok. Thank you. For those of you on YouTube, a very big special thank you to you. For all of you out elsewhere in the world, thank you for watching, and we appreciate you watching from wherever you're at, but we would highly recommend you jumping over to the YouTube side of things at some point. You will get a better viewing experience, and what I mean is the viewing is exactly the same. The only difference is you'll be able to interact with more people in the comments. That's the only thing. I guess I should start saying that instead of a better viewing experience. You'll get a better family type of experience. You'll have more people to interact with. For those of you watching live, thank you. I would please ask that you go there kindly and hit the like button. That would be very cool of you if you could give us a like. If you are not subscribed to the channel, the Political Spotlight channel, I would ask you to hit that subscribe button. Doing so would then allow you to hit the bell, which will allow you to set up your notifications for when we drop static videos or shorts or when we go live. And most of you know that we go live Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. However, we do sometimes change things up and go live at a different time, or we go on location at places, live on location. So it is always important to have your notifications set on. And then one of the things that we absolutely love is to hear from you, what you've got to say, what you're thinking, how things are going, yada, yada, yada. So if you're watching live, please comment over here, comment in the live chat box on YouTube, or if you're watching on Twitter, I don't know how you do it. But if you're watching after the fact, please comment in the comment box below. And then more importantly than anything, please share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word by sending the message out. Hey, watch this program. It's worth your time. Yada, yada, yada. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got through the Muncie City Council meeting tonight. You will see up here in our corner, today's Monday, July 1st, 2024. That means there have been 200, man, I'm bad with this. I'm just so dyslexic, I cannot even see straight. That means there has been 183 days. There have been 183 days that the council has been in office. Because I don't count that first day, because that's when I sent the first message out, there have been 182 days that I have not received a message from Counselor at Large from the Muncie City Council, Dale Basham. I, of course, brought that up on the record tonight, and we will take a look at that. So we're going to leave that up for the whole show, since this is a Muncie show. So you'll be able to see that up there, and it's really a sad state of things, because this man, I guess he thinks it's a game now. Like everybody just kind of smiles and goes along. No, I am mad, and I'm not happy about it. So we'll deal with that. We'll deal with everything else. And I don't know what's going on. He's got a black screen, but we're going to go ahead and pull him up and see if it works here. Maybe what's going on. Hello.
I'm having problems with my damn computer.
Well, of course. What are you doing? What are you having problems?
For some reason, it logged me out of it. And I can't get and I've got Chrome, but I can't get my damn Chrome to come up. It says I need to download it again. Now I'm having to find my email address and all this bullshit. So, computers.
Computers. And is that their new one?
That's my brand new one.
Why did it log you out? Because you shut it down, didn't you?
No, hell no. Let's see if I can find. And the StreamYard you give me can't pull it up for some reason.
Well, there's no way.
Enter studio. It says meeting for June 2024.
No, you're looking at the wrong thing. You're not.
It says 75 QNJ BSU 3G.
Well, hold on. Give me the last three.
BSU 3G.
Nah, man, that's from like months ago. Yeah, I don't know where you got that one.
What's the last three now?
TPT Tom Paul Boy. Where are you getting it from?
From my messenger, but
all right, I'm going to send it to you again.
No. Don't just. Can you send me a copy of the link with just the number on it, and I can type it in?
Send you a copy with just the link.
StreamYard.
Yeah, I just sent you the link.
Okay, but where did I get it?
On Messenger.
Computer's not letting me pull my messenger up. I must have changed my password or something.
I don't understand how you do this. Every time.
Let me see here. Hold on a minute. I'm going to probably go black on you.
I figured.
Messenger. Let me see what it shows here. StreamYard.com. Hang with us, folks. I don't know. I think I changed. I made a new account the other night, and I think it's. Are you still there?
Yeah.
I think it's screwing with my. That's why I told you just come over and set the damn thing up for me, and I don't have to deal with it.
Okay. Yeah, I will do that tomorrow. We need to do that to figure that shit out because I don't understand. Oh my God. Oh, there he is. Look.
I just got to have the right link, bro.
Yeah, right. That is much better. That is clean, looks good. You look good. It's widescreen. Everything's good to go.
Yeah, I just
yeah.
For some reason, my computer has to catch up with everything that's on my phone. So, shit happens. I open this once a month, dude.
That's your problem. You need to unsync it from your phone. I'll do that, and you'll never have a problem again.
Probably.
Because you're not on the computer enough.
Now I gotta get back in my Facebook and make sure my Chrome's working and all.
I'll help you with that. You don't work tomorrow, do you?
Nope.
All right. I'll get with you. Call me and we'll figure that out.
Yeah. Okay.
All
right. Now on with the show.
On with the show. So, what did you send me? Did you send me way to go?
What the fuck?
Or where to go? Oh, I get it. Okay. I was like, no, it said WTG.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do you mean way to go? What did I do?
Way to go. Me.
So man, what was going on with that land bank deal?
I tell you what, that's crazy.
Oh God.
People, I understand you're wanting the land bank to get money. But a resolution is not going to do it. It's not going to do it.
Listen, I'm a big supporter of the land bank.
Me too.
I just wish that people would be as concerned about everything else as they are about that.
35 minutes just on the land bank.
I'm like, we've got people here. I was like, man, we're going to be out of this by 7:50. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be able to go get something to eat and take my time.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The land bank needs money, but they need to go to the mayor for that to put it into the budget. Then come to the council and do all the begging for it. Council can't do nothing until they put it on teeth. Put teeth in it. Make it an ordinance.
Is my very dear friend Miss Jackie Fisher here. Jackie, are you here? Because I saw on the city of Muncie's thing that you asked, where is the city at in its negotiations with the AFSCME union? And I mean, obviously, you heard the union president say that they have basically stalled and that the union is now asking for arbitration, which is not good.
Well, the thing about it is, like I said in the meeting, he's just trying to break the union. This administration.
That's exactly what he's doing. And listen, and I know that you and I are a little bit different. I know that you and I are, you're obviously a union employee. I'm not. Like, unions were big at one point, very important at one point, held a thing. I don't think that they hold as much. Like, it's good for you. It's good for what you do. I don't think in a lot of places they hold the same. I don't think it does as much as it used to do. It's not the 1970s anymore.
Right, I understand.
The unions don't have the same thing. However, I am not for breaking up the unions on the police department, the fire department, or AFSCME.
Nope.
And the reason being is they need something to protect them from an out of control or a nonsensical administration such as we have.
And that's true, but with my union basically places me on jobs. I can be laid off at any time. I can be dismissed at any time. If I tell somebody they're a dumbass, I can be dismissed. These guys have nothing else to fall back onto. Their union is not going to find them another job because there's not other union contractors doing the AFSCME and so on and so forth.
Right.
We got 3,500 contractors that do the IUOE 103 contract, the International Union of Operating Engineers. We've got 3,500 just in our area.
Brad said it right here, and that's exactly what they did. This is what they did, and this is, if anybody out there does not know this or does not believe this, you are wrong. You are mistaken. Brad is exactly right. They stalled the civil union contract with AFSCME. The city of Muncie did what they did to be able to fire people because they are wrongly under the assumption that because they did not reach an agreement that because you heard him say it tonight, Wegley, and did you notice that Wegley talked more than Wright?
Yes.
Wright doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. Wegley is there to do the work. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. But he's the heavy there. And what they did with that is he said, well, it ended on December 31st. They are ignorant and they believe that because they didn't reach a negotiations and they didn't reach an agreement that the contract went away. And that is crap.
Nope.
Because they have that evergreen clause.
Yes. And that's the same way they did with McShirley when McShirley was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up having to go back and pay all them people. And that's what they're going to have to do here.
Yeah.
They're going to have to pay that $65,000.
Dude, I couldn't believe when he said we're on to 2025. I was like, are you kidding?
And then he said $65,000 was detrimental to the city's budget.
Nora said
all that edit money.
Nora said, what was the word you used? What was it he said? He said was it a financial crisis?
Financial crisis, that's what it was.
Holy crap, man.
$65,000 is a financial crisis for the city of Muncie. We're in deep shit if that's the case. We're in deep shit because we got them freaking idiot morons in there. Well,
I'm glad that the council tabled that.
Yes.
It's disappointing that it was only 7-2.
Yes.
And it was Green and Basham.
Bow tie.
What?
Green and bow tie.
Yeah. That said no, and so that's horrible. That's crazy. So
I guess we want to start at the beginning, or
in
the middle of it, all of it, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, look here. Yeah, when we're triple paying some folks and giving BSU millions for their hotel, it puts us in a situation where 65,000 puts us in a financial crisis. Yeah, let me pull this up for those of you. So FYI, we're not going to go through everything. We're just going to hit the high points. For anyone that did not watch the meeting, you can catch the meeting. We live streamed it on our YouTube page. You can find the link in the description. It's also on the City of Muncie's Facebook page. It's also on my Facebook page. You can find it several different places, so you can definitely find it. But here we're gonna pull this up here. And
Chris, I'm off this week for 4th of July, and I done more work today. Manual labor today for a honey-do list, and I've done for a while. So
right. Did you get your floor done?
I got it refinished. I got it redone. Yes. Maybe the last. Found out some of that material I put on there a year and a half ago was defective.
All right. Yeah. All right. Good night, Alva.
Good night, Alva. Sorry, you can't stay up a little longer.
Yeah, I think he said he had something going on. All right, so the meeting gets started here. They go through the beginning of the meeting, yada, yada. It was all pretty much the same. Jerry Dishman did his citizen recognition.
4 years. During Thomas's younger years, he was active in basketball, softball,
did all
bowling.
that. And that's
Thomas
all the
also
stuff very
received
important. Go through
with minutes, a motion for approval of minutes.
So
let me second down here a little bit. I mean,
Roll call.
Councilman Nick Tokar, 400 West Jackson Street. Kathy Van Ice was here last month, and I think gave you a overview of the project. This is to vacate a block of Dill Street just south of.
Mr. President, may I interrupt? I apologize, reading secretary.
On the agenda, we are on to ordinances previously introduced. So all of these ordinances are ordinances in which they discussed last meeting or before, at some point before in the past. So they're now discussing these ordinances. So this deal here, they voted this through 9 all right.
Yes.
I forgot to read. So, okay, I'll do that really quickly.
I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault.
Great.
Ordinance 11-24, an ordinance to vacate a portion of a certain right-of-way in the city of Muncie, Delaware County, Indiana.
Okay, sorry. Nick Tokar, 400 West Jackson Street. Kathy Van Ice from Ashland Land Surveyor was here last month when this was introduced. This is to vacate a block of Dill Street south of Village Promenade to help facilitate a housing development as part of the larger village redevelopment project.
Right.
Yeah.
Hotels and housing developments.
By this.
Say again.
I don't have a problem with these housing developments that they're putting in there that's going to be purchased to own. They're going to buy them right out after they're done. They're not going to rent them for 15 years as affordable housing, so-called, and so on and so forth. And you know, it's in Ball State. Ball State wants it. And it's tax income.
I just wish that we could get to a place where, and this is why, and I wanted to say to Brad King, I was just kind of busting balls a little bit. I don't have a problem with the land bank at all, and I think it's very important. I just wish that people were as passionate about everything else that goes on and were willing to get up and call these people out on the carpet and tell, whatever. That's all. I think that stuff's very important. I wish that we would get into a situation where we were giving more to the downtown, to the homes that are down around, the old West End and all of that stuff. I think that that's very important. I feel like I love seeing what they're doing in these neighborhoods and seeing the people that are moving in and rehabbing these old homes. And even when you get out further than that, seeing what's kind of going on down like south of 12th Street on like Hackley, and seeing how, when I was a little boy.
Part of the city of Muncie?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? When I was a little kid, like, I remember like going down there and being like scared. It was always like ran down and whatever, but they are really doing some work. And I like that. I like people's passion about, fixing up these homes and doing work. And I wish we would focus more on that than.
And the thing about the Habitat for Humanity is those people are actually purchasing their home as soon as they live in it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't have to wait 15 years and then the place is run down and then they have to start purchasing it. They become homeowners as soon as it's finished. So
yeah. I wish we just had a better understanding of best practices in urban redevelopment. I could know more about that. I would like to know more about that. I definitely think the people in charge should know more about that. I think that there's crap they don't know. Jackie, yeah, we will get to that, but they did not suspend the rules. It was voted down. As soon as there's a no vote, it has to be unanimous to suspend the rules. And as soon as somebody says
no,
as soon as someone says no, it's over. And I heard two different no's. I heard Garrett said no, and maybe Mason said no. So whoever says no, as soon as it's said, then that's it. So, okay. Where they're going to read, this is right starting off here is where we get into the money talks. And this is the ordinance. It was ordinance 12-24. And this is the city of Muncie wants the council to now basically like retroactively, they want them to approve this because they have already been paying AFSCME this 10% raise and they're doing it. We've talked about this now for 3 months. Yes. And, tonight was when, if you remember last meeting that happened at the beginning of June, they wanted AFSCME's president said, table this. And they said, well, this is just an introduction. It doesn't hurt to introduce it. That's not doing anything. There are talks. They had a meeting on June 12th. Yes. And they were hopeful. Everybody was hopeful. And then after that, at this meeting, maybe they could have voted it through or whatever. Well, the AFSCME president said, we had a good talk on the 12th and everything was good. And then from that point till now, something has broken down. And so this is that conversation here.
So should we adopt 1224?
Have a second.
Second.
Anybody want to talk on this tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, this was I
love this part.
put in by the
Hold on, I can't hear you. What?
I bet his wife wasn't saying much on the internet when he was up there.
Yeah.
Code 36-4-7-3 stating that the executive may increase or decrease by during the budget year for which it affects as far as the salaries. And we felt that go ahead and institute the salary increase to the employees. And that's why we're bringing it in front of you.
Out of the goodness of our hearts.
Yeah.
After negotiations have failed for
so
a
they
year.
have been receiving, we asked you that question, it's in the minute. May 1st was the first time they received that.
May 1st.
And your plan is to continue paying it for the rest of this year?
Well, we hope so, yes.
If the council does not approve this ordinance, how does that impact the pay that has been received from May 1st to now? Is that in question? Is it possible that those city employees will have to reimburse the city of the money that they've received?
He already asked this question.
No, we have no plans to claw back that money. If the council doesn't approve the amended salary ordinance, State Board of Accounts will issue a finding, and we have a chance to respond to that finding, and our response will be that the city council refused to amend the salary ordinance.
It's the city council's fault.
Yeah, right.
It's the city council's fault now.
We believe that the city workers deserve these raises. I mean, with
Now they do.
inflation, cost
Yeah.
of living going up. I mean, all you have to do is go to the grocery store to see it. We believe it's the right thing to do. We gave a 10% raise to police and fire unions. And in large part, that increase was to improve recruitment and retention of police and fire employees. And it's no different for civil employees. We believe that they deserve to be compensated for their hard work. And if the contract had been approved, we would have already had this salary ordinance in place.
Right.
But it hasn't, and here we are. So that's our opinion.
We always say about ifs.
Ifs and buts.
So just as a reminder,
Oh, well.
I know I asked this before, but just again to reiterate, you gave
Oh, I
those
thought you were
10%
gonna
raises to fire and police when?
At the beginning of this year.
Started at the end of the year.
Mhm.
And this was started when for the rest of the city and the ASME union?
For ASME, it was I don't know that it was May 1st. It was the first pay in May.
Mhm. Okay. And do you plan, if this were approved, to back pay back to January?
We had discussed this with the union at our last negotiations, and we said that if we saw the expected 10% increase at the June settlement, that we would issue back pay, but that is not the case. It was roughly 1%.
But we
Increase over last year's spring settlement.
we are continuing talks with ASME as far as dealing with everything, July the 9th.
I wonder if it took two of them to stand up there because Craig was taking too much heat last month.
I think so.
Mr. Wagley, for clarification, you said that the property tax settlement came in 1% over 2023?
Yes, the spring settlement, yes.
Spring settlement is just 1% over what we received for 2023?
Listen
That's
to this,
correct.
folks. This is where it gets really
And
crazy.
so you're saying that in order to give these employees what you've given all the other employees, you're not going to be able to do
No,
that?
the police and fire is what we gave these.
Right.
increases.
Well, my question is that you're saying because of the news that you got in regards to 1% spring settlement, the 1% increase, you're unable to give the back pay to January 1st to the other employees?
That's correct.
Isn't that,
That's correct.
so would that put us into a financial
Crisis,
crisis?
which is how
Wow.
which is the language, the situation that's needed in order to adjust salaries regardless of a contract.
So just for clarification, roughly $65,000 will put us into a financial crisis?
We believe so.
That's very interesting. Thank you.
Dude,
welcome.
We're in bad shape, dude.
We
Oh,
felt
stop
comfortable
this.
doing
Hold on.
this.
Pause.
We're in bad shape.
He is in so much trouble tomorrow morning. I cannot believe he said that. She said it will put us in a financial, and he said crisis. And then he just kept driving that truck through it. Dude, what?
Him and his wife's running the city. It's not Dan. Dan's not running nothing. Dan's like Biden. He's sitting back watching. Clueless, don't know what the hell's going on. And I'm a Democrat. Biden's clueless and sleepless in Seattle, folks. And so's Dan Ridenhour because Wagley and his wife is running the city. Ask them. They'll tell you.
Oh, yeah. They absolutely believe that. They absolutely believe that they are running the show. That is 100%. I can't believe he said that. I just cannot believe he said financial crisis, or he's in
Considering
crisis.
it was May and we still hadn't had a contract.
Okay.
So you're saying with the 65,000 would be, put you in a crisis?
I don't know that the exact number is 65,000, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
It's your word, dude.
I'm noticing that we're coming up with, what is it? Deputy here, deputy there. Where are those jobs? How's that funding coming through if you don't have any money?
Well,
Just curious.
these jobs are in place. These jobs are not just created in May of this year.
Absolutely.
we budget based on projected revenues. And of course, you never know what the revenue is going to be because people may not pay their property taxes, which in an inflationary period, I was chief deputy treasurer for 10 years. And I'll tell you, during an inflationary period, about the first thing people stop paying is their property taxes because they know that it takes more than 12 months of back taxes in order to get into a tax sale.
So was he fourth in charge?
So how did you decide that these would be the employees that didn't get the 10% raise for the entire year?
Because these were the employees that we were still attempting to negotiate a contract with.
Okay. And so the 1% increase.
And we were advised not to do anything in the middle of a contract negotiation.
Listen to this nonsense.
Because that could be seen as trying to manipulate the contract. At the time that we did it, it seemed to us that we were at what's called an impasse. And if you're at an impasse, you know, you have a little more flexibility.
Okay. For clarification on all of it you just have said, there were meetings going on when they announced the raise. So you were still under negotiations, correct?
The contract was deemed basically, technically, December 31st, the contract was over.
No.
We were attempting to negotiate in good faith, and we didn't want to upset the apple cart by doing something in the middle of a contract negotiation.
Okay.
Okay.
But you did have, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I have a question for you. The pay increase that you're giving now, is that in any way going to affect the negotiations? The contract, what you're doing now, is this in any way going to affect that?
We'll talk with everybody with the negotiations on July the 9th at our next negotiation meeting.
Okay. So at this time, you're still under negotiations.
Well, we're resuming negotiations on July the 9th.
Yeah, that was, I'm sorry. So that was going to be my point. It's negotiations, right? You had a June 11th or 12th meeting, and now you've got this July one. So that you are still in negotiations, correct?
We were attempting to negotiate the 24 contract. At this time, on the 9th, we're looking towards 2025 because the employees have received a 10% raise with no concessions. The only thing that the employees could expect for 2024 would be to make concessions for the 10% raise that we gave them. Because police and fire gave concessions during their negotiations.
But they don't want to do the 2024 contract because they fired some people.
Back to this issue of if you don't have the financing now, if it's going to send you into financial, what was the word you used? Crisis. So if it will send the city into financial crisis to pay the $65,000 from January to May this year, will you have the money next year to pay?
We believe so because there are more taxable properties coming online for payable for 2024, payable 2025.
You've got the police and the fire and the ASME negotiations should be starting up.
Could you estimate? I'm sorry, did you recognize me?
Yeah.
I thought so. Could you estimate how many city employees this will impact?
I mean, it's a little over 100 total. That is bargaining unit and non-bargaining unit. Bargaining unit is there are, I believe there are 63 positions. I don't know that all those positions are filled.
Yeah, because you fired a couple of them.
That would be the ones covered under ASME.
President. I just also want a reminder that the reason that we're talking about this is not that we don't believe that they deserve 10%, but just a reminder that this was not brought in front of the council as it was supposed to have been done under ordinance.
Right, we agreed to it.
Understood. And like I say, if the contract had been settled, you would have had one. You would have had a new salary ordinance. But we didn't think that we should project what the end result would be and do an amended salary ordinance and then have to come back and do another amended salary ordinance. And the State Board of Accounts, the mayor has spoken with State Board of Accounts, and State Board of Accounts has said As long as the salary ordinance is amended before the end of the year, they will issue no finding.
So drag it out.
Just like if, I'm sorry,
I know,
but just,
That's true, that they will find no finding, but you're still outside of city ordinance. You still spent money that wasn't appropriated. Number two.
no, the money was
Question.
the money was appropriated. We're well within the
Pause this real
appropriated money.
quick here.
It's just that
Okay.
the salary, you're talking about the salary.
So, all right. So this is a good question. So the contract, GW, do you mean the contract, the contract that they would technically be working off of, which would be 2023? Have you seen it, Audie?
I have not seen it, but it's there.
Yeah, I've had it before.
Yeah, the Ask Me guys ain't gonna have to work without, they're gonna work without a contract, but they're gonna have something written down somewhere where they can slam it down and say, here's the paperwork.
Yeah.
They're gonna go to arbitration on this. And the city's gonna have to pay them.
I've seen the contract, I've seen the old 2023 contract in my hand. I've seen it. I'm sure I've got it around here at some point.
Well, the contracts work like this. They go 3 years and then they go 1 year. And then after the 1 year contract is up, which is up this year, I think it goes back to another 3-year contract. And then after that 3-year contract is up, the administration that's still in office gets to negotiate for a 1-year contract, and then the new administration gets to come in and gets a 3-year contract. Does that make sense?
Say it one more time.
This contract here is only good for a year. The 2024 contract is only good for 1 year.
Yeah.
The contract before that was good for 3 years, I believe, just like the
yes.
So it goes 3 years, 1 year, and then it goes 3 years, 1 year. So the one that they're going to start.
I don't think that. No. I don't think that's true. I think it's 3 years to 3 years. It was Ridenauer who did the 1 year thing because he wanted to give them a little bit of a bump, and he knew that he couldn't do. So I think that Ridenauer did that. I think they go in 3-year jumps.
It may, and it may be how they negotiated, but I know the one they're getting ready to negotiate now is going to be a 3-year contract.
Right. Yeah. I because what Ridenauer wanted to do was he wanted to be able to give them something, and then in case he won the election, not lock himself into shit, on down the road. So he wanted to do a negotiation. So he said, we'll do because he told me that when we had that little lunch date that I won in that raffle or that auction that one time, we went and I asked him specifically, why are you only doing a 1-year negotiation? And he said, well, we don't want to lock, whoever could be mayor into some, he was doing it, for Jeff's benefit if Jeff won, but he was not locking himself into anything.
It was his benefit to break the unions is what it was.
Yeah. You're fine. GW, as far as what they've wanted, no, I've not seen that, and they won't talk about that because they really can't. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are talking behind the scenes, but I haven't seen anything like that. I do know
they're not allowed to talk about it because it's still under
negotiations, which is like confidential or whatever. Yeah. I do know that I have heard several rumors from people, enough that I feel like this is a factual information, that the city wanted them to give up that evergreen clause. They wanted them to give that up, and they wanted them to give something else up if they got the raise that the police and fire got. Yep. They said, we will do this, but we want you to give up the evergreen clause and something else. And that's why they said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, that's a union buster.
Right? Oh, the Me Too, their Me Too or Us Too, meaning if you do something for police, you have to do it for them. If you do something for fire, you've got to do it for police and AFSCME. So basically, police, fire, and AFSCME all have that thing in their contract where if it's good for one, it's good for all of them. And
Right.
they were like, no, we're not giving that up. We're not doing that.
The police have gave it up and the fire have gave it up, but the ASME has not, and they will not.
The police gave it up?
The police gave up because if the fire department gets a raise, and if the police department gets a raise and the fire department don't get the same percentage, then, they can't come back and say, we got the Me Too clause. I'm sure that the police department and the fire department both have gave it up.
I thought they said they did not.
I think they did.
We'll have to look into
We'll have to look into that. Don't quote me on that, but I think they did.
The appropriated money.
You've spent money that is beyond the maximum amount of hourly rate for the salary ordinance. It just is, sir. The maximum salary ordinance for
we can do it anyhow.
24-23 says
Yeah.
this. You've spent that we've established that. We've established that for the
That's
last
correct.
2 or 3
And the
months.
State Board of Accounts has no issue with that
As long
as the salary ordinance is amended by the end of the year.
Because the
Quite-
finding will be, if it's not, that you spent money without it being appropriate, without
Laura's
it being
right.
approved by the fiscal body. The first part of that Indiana code that Mr. Wright hasn't read is that has to be approved
Ding,
by
ding,
the
ding,
fiscal
ding,
body.
ding.
So it says with the fiscal body's approval, the executive can increase salary.
I don't believe
Yes,
that's
sir.
what that says.
I don't believe
it
that's
is. It's
No, I
But
was
my
saying
next
yes.
question-
to you, but yes, you're right.
I got it right
Yeah,
there.
this was
right
stupid.
here. Right there, bud.
I got the code right here.
Got all of it.
You gotta have B, C, and D.
Yeah.
But and we
do.
can argue that at another time, and I can make an appointment to come in because I don't want to delay the meeting. But what there was an impasse with, and I'm not expecting information about what happened in the negotiations, but I do want to point out that at the State of the City address, Mayor Ridenour praised AFSCME employees. He had them stand up. He said things like, these are the people that are getting it done.
What Nor did
said
it
things
was good.
like-
It was good here.
It'll be expensive to have a contractor come and mill those streets, but our guys can do this.
Absolutely.
So
And he gave them a 10% raise.
he gave all the civilian employees a 10% raise
In May.
That's
in
correct.
May.
So you're saying that the non-ASME people aren't,
All right, pause.
One big
One
ass.
big
target.
ass target just said fire and police did give up that part of the contract.
I knew they
Okay.
did
Okay.
because they said
That's-
every man for themselves.
Okay. Thank you.
worth the
I'm just
10%
saying,
raise?
sir, that you can't
But your
you
line,
can't ask for praise on the work of someone and not reward their work.
10%
with regards
raise.
to their
10%
contract.
raise.
You
10%
find me
raise.
a company or another government unit that's provided a 10% raise, and don't tell me don't tell me that's not appreciation.
Well, and I'm sure those other government
With-
units
with no
actually
con-
came to
with
council
no
and asked to
concessions.
increase the salaries as well.
Right, but
So
your
I'm not
language.
going to go
your-
back and forth with you, sir, about those things. I'm just saying that at the State of the City address,
Chris,
we
Chris,
praised these
Yeah.
employees.
Absolutely, and deservedly so.
They do.
do you realize the 10% raise that the ASME people are getting? Do you know how much that amounts to?
I'm sure it's minor. What is it? Do we know?
What is it? $1.87. So this 10% raise, I got a 3% raise.
Yeah.
My 3% raise was more than their 10% raise is. So you know,
Sure.
let's not say that. I don't even know that it possibly could be that much. I mean, what they make 18 to 20 bucks an hour, maybe 23,
Yeah.
$2.30 at the most.
Okay.
an
Yeah.
hour?
Right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, when they're up here saying 10%, we do appreciate them. We do. Look, listen, anything is better than nothing. And so I'm sure they're happy to take the $2.33 or whatever it is, but it's still they need to be realistic about what they're doing. And, so yeah, that's a good point.
They deserve a full contract. They deserve the raise.
They got a 10% raise with no concessions.
Okay. But they still don't have the contract.
Right.
And your wording was that we are spending money that has not been appropriated. No, we are not.
I'm sorry, I'll take that back and clarify. We're spending money that hasn't been approved by the fiscal body.
Well, the money's been approved by the fiscal body.
No, sir.
It's the salary ordinance is at issue. And we've quite frankly had no expectation that giving the employees a 10% raise would be so.
I don't, oh, sorry. I don't think that that's what's
Why is
controversial.
he
What's
the main
controversial is
person
you've
at
done
the
it before
podium?
Coming to the council, which is
think,
following this chain of commands. You've circumvented council.
I'm gonna go out on
But
a limb.
state statute says
I don't
that
know this
the
to be
compensation
true.
fixed
You're what?
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm not gonna say that this is true,
Yeah.
but I'd say maybe Craig is maybe on his way out. Maybe he's ready to retire. Maybe he's ready to give it up, and he's grooming Mr. Wiggles.
I know that Craig has been doesn't like getting beat up. He does not like the nonsense that's going on.
I don't know that to be 100% true, but that's my prediction. July 1st.
July 1st, what?
Write it down.
Oh, that's yeah, right. July 1st. So in his mind, or if the council, the physical body, or right now our cabinet. So in his mind,
the cabinet's the fiscal body.
Yeah. That's it. Who knows what's going on in his mind, to be honest with you. Listen, right now, she says it. One of them she says it, or Gullion says it. I don't know which one, but one of them says you circumvented the council. And look, that's Nora and Gullion and the rest of them better get used to it, because right now we're spent 4 years circumventing the last council. Right now we're stopped coming to meetings.
And they didn't have a clue what's going on.
Yeah.
Until after the election.
Yeah. They had no clue what was going on. Ridenauer and his department heads attended the meeting until Jeff, the time that he wanted the bond, and Jeff shot him down, and then Jeff took it back and thought about it and rescinded that. I think that bit Jeff in the ass. I wish he wouldn't have done that. I wish he would have left the vote. What Jeff did was being a bigger man at that situation. I mean, it truly was being the bigger man. But I think in the end, it would have been benefited. It would have been better for the city had he not done that. If they would have left it at what the vote was, killing the bond, it would have been better. But even though the council rescinded that and went ahead and voted, at that point, Dan was done with the council. I think they had made him look foolish. And from that point, for the next 2 years, Ridenauer didn't attend meetings. He didn't ask them. He didn't tell them shit. And so them circumventing this council is no different.
And the only meeting that he's attended this year is the ones about the fire station.
Absolutely. And only the ones about the fire station that have been like really serious, where it was going to happen or not happen. I mean, he's not even attended everything. Like, he didn't attend the special committee meetings, all of them that were held. So it's just, always, it's just very questionable.
He was at one that was recorded, and he was at one that was not.
Yeah. Tonight, Dan was not at this meeting tonight. Ivy was there. Ivy, I wrote it down specifically. Ivy left at 7:43. So the meeting started at 7:00.
What Ivy left about the time asked me, President, come up there.
Yeah, I wrote it down exactly. He left at 7:43, 43 minutes into the meeting, and these guys stuck around until the resolution. And then I think Craig Wright left. I think Wegley stuck around, and everybody, all department heads were out of there by the tabled ordinance and public concerns.
Well, there was one still there.
Who?
Beech Grove.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. I mean, of the the round
cabinet.
table. Yeah.
Yeah, the cabinet.
Under this section may be increased or decreased by the executive during the year for which it is fixed. That is after it talks about
I
the
found
council doing the salary ordinance.
Exactly.
It does
After.
It does say fixed. Yeah.
Right, it's fixed, and then during the year, the executive can,
This is a load of
that's the way
crap.
it reads.
That's the portion that you've been given.
I'm the one who found it.
Oh,
I mean,
I've read
what?
all of it.
Listen,
I've read read the entirety of the 36-4-7.
Did he? That is a load of crap. If he just said that again, that floors me that they feel confident enough to say things like that, because again, I'm going to point out here. We're going to show you right here. I'm going to point it out to you right here.
that's manipulation of the law. I mean, they're
Yeah,
manipulating it to where they makes them look good.
It's look, I'm going to show you right here.
And I was told by a judge one time, just because you ain't privy to the law, don't mean it can't be enforced on you.
Well, that's exactly right.
I was
there
told
it
that
is.
by a judge.
Yeah. Right here we go. Right here we go. And again, and we've shown this before, and we've talked about this before. What he's saying, what Craig got up and read, and what they're going off of is the line in blue.
Mhm.
I went back to the very first meeting when Craig read it, looking at the law in my hand, and listened to Craig read it. I listened to him read it 4 times. And what he read was from C to the period. Compensation fixed under this section may be increased or decreased by the executive during the budget year for which it is fixed. Here's the thing. Like I say when I get up, in the English language, we read from top to bottom, left to right.
Yep.
And our alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You don't pick and choose which letters you want to start with. You don't get to read this only reading C. You don't, that's not how this thing is working. It says right there.
It's how it's working, but it's not.
Well, it is how it's working. Yeah. Yeah, you're you're right about that. That's funny. So
smack down on their asses and quit that shit.
Yeah, right. Oop.
And the only way they're going to do that's when they budget time.
Yeah.
And then they won't pass the budget, and then it'll fall back to what the budget was this year.
Okay, so here we go.
All the sections, section 3 and all the other sections. It states that council fixes this, and then the executive has the authority to increase or decrease it during the year for which it is fixed under the salary ordinance.
All right. And I think that's what you're talking about. When it's fixed. So you have a certain limit, and you can only go within that limit. And what you've done is go beyond that limit.
No, but it's fixed, and it sets the limit, and then it says the executive may
timing issue
increased or decreased by the executive during the budget year for which it is fixed.
If this guy is reading the contract like timing issue saying, if he's reading ASME contract,
Mr. Gibson?
Yeah.
He's out there.
Yeah.
Mr. Green?
Yes, we'd like you to clarify.
Okay, real quick, Danny, you're asking which one, who on here is like a minion of the mayor who like backs the mayor. So
The two on the far left.
It's basically these two counselors right here. This is a Democrat. This is a Republican. This is a Democrat. This is a Democrat. This is a Democrat. This is a Democrat. This is a Democrat, and Republican. Roe is kind of a counselor on her own, in her own boat. She rows her own boat, we'll say. Yep. Sometimes she's with them. Sometimes she's against them. She's been more against them than with them. It just depends on what's going on. These two gentlemen, this guy's a nice guy. Jeff's a nice guy.
But he does not do his research.
But he's talked more in the last two meetings than I've heard him talk in the 4 or 5 years he's been here now. But it just doesn't seem like he does a lot of research. He waits till the meeting to decide all this stuff. Basham's opening night, when he announced his run, holding the microphone in his hand, he said, I am running to be a voice and a vote for the mayor. That's what he said. Period. And that's why I've taken such a hard stance against him. That's the reason I followed him and pushed him and wrote him hard all through the campaign. And when he got elected, I've been right there on him because I want to know. That's not what we need. Those council people there are votes and voices for the public, for the citizens, for the city. They're not to be a voice and a vote for the mayor. And that's a problem.
And I want to make it clear again, 8 of the 9 people up there took donations for their campaign from unions.
Yeah.
Now you got Mason over here. I don't know if he was ever in a union or not. He may have been in a 911 union for a while. Rose, she was a member of the teachers union. Billy Mack, he was worked at Warner Gear.
Okay.
I don't know about Nora, but her ex-husband and son and all them were in the unions.
Police fire.
Jerry was in the Teamsters union. I don't know about Sarah Gallion.
Probably not.
I don't know too much about Brandon Garrett's work history, so I don't know if he has. Del Basham, he was in the teachers union.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Green, I don't know anything about his.
He's in the union with God. He's a preacher. Honestly, I don't think he's in the union.
I think he also worked in a factory. I don't know for sure, but I think he also worked in a factory.
Okay. Yeah.
Roe is a fence rider.
Yeah.
Roe started about July of last year when they shunned her from the tent at the fairgrounds, that she was going to do everything she could to suck up and get in good with the Republicans so she could get elected. And
Roe's a Republican. Roe is a Republican.
Yes.
But she had a falling out with the mayor. Then the Republicans shit on her a little bit.
Well, the falling out with the mayor was because
of the park thing,
the name of the ball diamonds without going to the council to approve it. And she's the one that put the ordinance in that stopped that bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think
that was right.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
The state statute is really the relevant question. The question is being asked of you, are you going to amend the ordinance? Right. Putting aside the state statute, you passed an ordinance last year that said they would only pay up to a certain level. They have exceeded that, and they're now asking you to amend it. Whether they believe that is proper or not is really not the relevant question tonight. It's, are you going to amend the ordinance or not?
That voice is the voice of the attorney, and he is in the meeting via phone. That's why you can't see him. He's attending via phone.
Anyone else from the audience?
Oh, yeah.
Nate Burgess, ASME 3656 president, come before you to ask you to table this again. The meeting on the 12th, I thought went amazing. That's no lie. I thought we really made some leeway. Didn't hear anything from the city for a little while. sent an email and received an email back last Friday, and pretty much everything that I felt good about is now backwards.
That's horrible.
So in other words, his negotiation.
I just got confirmation this morning.
Yeah.
We do have a meeting on the 9th. But as far as I'm concerned, it's to pick an arbitrator.
Wah, wah.
Not to continue. So we've been at this since July, and quite frankly, me and my team were tired of dragging the dead weight around. So if you guys get any questions.
Oh, Rhino.
If we table it today, how is that going to affect? Is everybody on board with AFSCME, the families? Is everybody in agreement?
We definitely are.
Yeah, they're ready to go to mattresses.
We need a contract. It was pretty simple. Give us a 2024 contract and we'll sign off on it. We was told that we didn't need a contract for this year. So I have several grievances out, employees fired. I need a contract, so I got a leg to stand on and to move forward. And without a contract, I keep getting the same message back, every time I file something. So, and as far as at an impasse, it was the city that gave the impasse.
He clears this
Final
up.
and best offer. We never called that. We're calling it now. But this is after 1 year of dragging us through the mud.
That's harsh.
Anyone else from the audience?
Pretty blunt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got a question. Yeah, Mr. Richards. So you said 2024 is pretty done. Can you clarify what you mean by that, or was that, or who said?
Our contract has an evergreen clause in it that was signed off for 2023. The evergreen clause pretty much says from year to year thereafter. They're saying we don't have a contract in 2024. So every grievance I file says I don't have a contract. Like I said, I got 2 people laid off. We got supervisors taking overtime. It's a mess. And if I don't have a contract in 2024, it's going to continue being a mess. 6 months worth of mess already. I don't need a year. The city wants to negotiate for 2025. And before we negotiate for 2025, 2024 is going to be fixed.
Yes.
And that's our stance.
Say it. Yeah, I mean, that's.
Mr. Burgess, when did you begin negotiations for 2024?
It was in July.
Over a year. I mean, 1 year ago.
And I know you can't be specific, but did AFSCME come and offer concessions?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. I mean, he just blew a hole in everything the administration said.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else from the audience?
Audie Barber.
Audie Barber.
10th counselor.
10th councilman. I should say that next time.
We're trying to get the wool pulled over our eyes here by only reading part of the law, part of the rules, part of the regulations. These men and women have been working nonstop, continuously, without a contract. And I think the only way you guys should ever think about passing that law, that rule tonight, that ordinance tonight, is make it retroactive to January 1st.
Put us in a financial crisis.
Those people deserve their raise just like anybody else. If they wanted to be police officers, they would have been police officers. I praise the police department. If they wanted to be firemen, they'd have been firemen. I praise the fire department. These folks take care of our streets and everything else that goes along with it. And they're being treated like dog shit. On the bottom of my shoe that I stepped in somebody's yard.
I
wanted to say it so bad. Ridiculous. This is called union busting at its best. That is what they're trying to do here. The administration in office at this time is trying to break this AFSCME union. And I hope and pray that you folks sitting up there that got contributions from some of the unions, remember the unions that supported you, and these folks are still part of them unions.
So if you do pass this regulation,
they cannot
try to
strike.
make it effective January
Yeah.
1st. Thank you.
Anyone else from the audience?
They can get in trouble for that.
Make a motion to a table.
If you're sick, you're sick.
Been a motion to table in a second. Roll call, please.
All right, folks.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. No.
Yes.
7-2. Remember
7-2.
Remember that vote. 7-2.
Remember? Yeah, right.
We'll always remember.
Yeah. Well,
7-2.
Ordinance 13-24, an ordinance to amend the City of Muncie Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance from the F farming zone.
okay, now
and
this
two
gets into
intense
what
industrial zone to
Jackie
the
was
MD
asking about.
Mobile home park zone.
Well, see,
on
the lady
premises
was there and
located at
explained her
2800
situation
West
last
Memorial
month.
Drive, Muncie,
Yeah.
Indiana.
It's the trailer park at the end of 12th Street. Tilton 12th.
No, this isn't. This is for Liberty.
No.
Yeah, this is the one they wanted them to.
No, this is the trailer park.
What are you talking about?
Nobody showed up, so they tabled it.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Yeah. You're
Sure,
right.
last month Did a real good, had a real good speech and wanted to clear it up. It's been like that for 40 years.
Yeah, freedom makers.
And they tabled it, and because the lady didn't show up, she didn't realize she had to show up to another reading.
Yes. Yes.
They didn't have to table it. They could have voted.
Yeah, they could have voted without her being there, but Jerry just said, "Fuck it, table it."
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So they tabled that one.
The ordinances.
Now we're into new ordinances.
14-24.
Ordinance 14-24.
Oh
an
my
ordinance to
God,
amend
look
the
at
City of
this. Hold on. Stop the presses. Where have you been?
Hey!
I have been doing a tour out at the asylum for our group that arrived at 10 minutes after 8 instead of 6 o'clock.
Oh, shit.
I was like,
They were a
what
little
in
late.
the world is going on? I got out to the car and I like get on and I'm like looking, I'm like, the feed's still running.
I
And I'm
sent
like,
you a message.
I didn't to my phone.
No, in our group.
I have no messages from you.
Oops.
I sent 2 voice messages at 8:15.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't let me play them. It was that thing. It wouldn't let me play them. I got 2 things, but I thought it was just like a butt dial or something. It wouldn't let me play it.
Well, like my computer wouldn't let me play it.
Right here. I'm pressing play. Nothing. So I was like, what's going on? So then I got on, I killed it real quick because it was just going and going and going. And I got in there and the chair was, I told everybody the chair was just there. Your chair was just there. And so I killed it. I got here and I got on and you weren't here. And I was like, where's Kate? I told everybody
I got the call that they were there.
Yeah.
And literally grabbed my keys, grabbed my phone, walked out the door, and was recording on the phone. Kristopher, you're going to have to end the feed yourself.
Oh, yeah. No, I had no clue.
I'm driving there. So,
well, I called my grandparents because I thought maybe you'd been raptured. And then it got really weird because my grandparents answered the phone. And I was like, what's going on? Kate's raptured, but my grandparents aren't?
And then I had problems with my computer too, Kate.
Yeah,
so.
then he couldn't get on, and people in the comments are gonna leave because I wasn't putting comments up fast enough. I'm like, this is not my job. I don't know what I'm doing. So
yeah,
I'm here, and I'm here just in time too because I have a question. So it was 7-2.
Yeah.
7-2,
which,
remember.
They're, the whole 7-2, remember 7-2.
Well, that was 5-4, but 7-2 works better. Yeah.
7-2 at least makes a little more sense to be freaking out about. But how much trouble is Roe going to be in for voting to table?
No, that we talked about that right before you got here. You must not have heard that part. So,
No.
I mean, she's rowing her in her own boat. She's not with the Republicans. She's not with the Democrats. She's just out here. Listen, I still will say, I think by the end of this, Roe might turn out to be at the end. She might turn out to be a pretty good council person because of the fact that the Republicans keep burning her on shit, and she's just like, screw it, I'm done with them. So I think
but she goes back.
I don't know after this last deal if she will or not.
She come up and said hi and shook my hand tonight. So that's
yeah,
time in 6 months.
I think she's.
She realizes who's right and who's wrong.
It doesn't mean she's
decided
going
to think for herself.
Yeah.
And
I think it's maybe less than that. It's more like just rolling the dice and seeing where it's like, all right.
I think she's always spoke for herself. I mean, I think she's always thought for herself. I don't think she's got push too much on her, but she knows when to hold them and know when to fold them. She knows when to get in their good graces and when to get out of their good graces.
Yeah.
I'm just intrigued by this person's name. I don't even care what they said.
Corn Pops, Fish
and Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a night.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm going to go hide again, and I'm just going to put up comments because obviously I'm like 10 minutes behind the conversation. So
that's all right. Yeah, you're good.
Bye.
You're good. Thank you.
It's just me and Chris talking. It won't take long to catch up.
Kate, everybody. Yeah, right.
Just
yeah, you're right.
Rose all show.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Row, Rhino, your boat.
Yeah. Well, all right. Here we go.
Comprehensive zoning ordinance from the R4 residence zone to the BC Community Business Zone on premises located at 1300 South Liberty Street, Muncie, Indiana.
What?
I'll make a motion to introduce.
People are already posting.
Kylie Swack.
I saw someone already made a post on Facebook.
In this case is Muncie Mission Ministries Incorporated.
Hold on, I'm gonna block out who it is, but I'm gonna have Kate put it up.
They are wanting to change this from an R4 residence zone to a BC Community Business Zone, and this is to for development of a multifamily dwelling.
More apartment buildings.
For the Plan Commission with a favorable recommendation. 6-0 with one person abstaining due to connection to the case. Let's see. There is property. They are going through the replatting process now. So this will not be a split zone. This will not end up being a split zone. And it is kind of a true mixed use area. There's other community business directly across the street to the south. And then there's also some other residence zone in there as well as some variety business. So it will not create any spot zoning.
Real quick, I got to pause this.
Okay.
Because I got to put this up.
That's fine.
I just saw this on Facebook. This went up about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's some good shit. I'll post that. I'm gonna be. We'll have to make another banner for that until they do something better. I love it. Oh, I love it. I think
was that timing issues?
No.
Okay.
I don't know who it is. Okay. I have no clue who it is.
Or was that Corn Puff?
No, I don't know who that. I don't know who any of these people are.
I don't know who those people are either.
All right, here we go.
Mr. President, remind me, isn't this what elementary school did this used to be?
Meaning it was the Harrison School.
That's right. Have any property taxes been collected from this property for years? I mean, maybe even 100 years.
Since the 70s, it's been owned by Full Gospel Church.
And before that, it was a school. So, okay.
Yeah. So I'm Mara Hoff with Defer Varan, 400 South Walnut Street, representing Muncie Mission Ministries. But I did want to point out, though they are the applicant, this is actually part of the Together to House Muncie project. So there are many, many different agencies locally that are part of this alliance, including the YW, Better Way, Christian Ministries, Meridian Health, Open Door, the Center Township Trustee, and the City of Muncie Community Development Office. So this is a very large project that we're very excited about. If you want any of the details on that, I'm happy to answer those questions. But as Kylene covered, we went through the detailed analysis of the rezoning with the Planning Commission, and they did unanimously recommend that we rezone the parcel.
All apartments. That's all they want the city to be is apartments.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Every month there's apartment buildings coming up. Every month.
Yeah.
That live around that. Did you send letters out to them?
Yes, so everyone who was
3
within
people, Jerry.
partial distance required by the Planning Commission was given notice of that hearing and that meeting. No one contacted me and no one appeared to remonstrate that night. There have also been community forums, and I know that Brian Ayers with Open Door met with some folks at the Ross Community Center just last week as well.
Here's the thing. Some of these council people, council persons, don't even get out in the city. Don't even know what the freaking hell's going on in the city.
Yeah.
They go to their little neighborhood, they go to work and they come back home. They don't even look down the roads and nothing. They don't look around and see what's going on.
That's
Audie
true.
Barber, more housing, more apartments, more multifamily apartments. We've got one at 26 in Walnut Street that was supposed to have started. They went in, stripped the top dirt off, and haven't touched it for months. We got one supposed to go in on Kilgore. How many apartment buildings can the city afford? It's not affordable housing because the people gets into them, they can't afford them. A lot of apartments going in. Maybe we need to concentrate on some businesses. If we could get the businesses like we are the apartment buildings, shoot, the sky would be the limit. And it's being done in central Indiana. Westfield's one of the busiest growing cities in the United States. So, and that's
Audie's
40 miles
comparing
away.
Muncie and Westfield.
So we're getting a
40 miles
lot
away,
of
Chris.
apartment
Yeah,
buildings.
that's true.
We've got a bunch of houses that they started about 3 years ago that are still sitting empty because people can't afford them. All you have to do is drive around the communities, drive around the neighborhoods, and you'll see the empty, brand new apartments that the city helped fund that are still sitting empty. So maybe give it some thought when you guys rezone this. Thank you.
Somebody come up and spoke up later on and said, well, this is just rezoning. I know what it was about, lady. I know where it's headed.
I know what it's about, lady.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same.
President Dishman, we did have a special request if you would consider suspending the rules to pass this tonight. And the only reason we asked is because we're part of the IHCDA's program for tax credit financing. That application is due at the end of July. And the site is to be under control and properly zoned before the application will be considered.
Well, that pushes it off till next July then, don't it?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and make that
What?
motion to suspend the rules.
Oh, yeah.
Have a second.
Second.
She said the paperwork's due by the end of July.
Roll call, please.
Well,
No, that should have been it.
there it was. There it was.
7-2, never forget.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's going to be coming up for the next 3 months, that Ask Me stuff. 3 or 4 months.
Oh, yeah.
It'll take a month or two to get to the arbitrator and for them to make a decision and all that shit. It's
Ordinance 15-24.
Ordinance 15-24, an ordinance to amend the City of Muncie Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance from the R4 residence zone to the
So they did
R5
not
residence
suspend the
zone
rules
for
then.
lots 10 and 11 in
They
block
do
9
this, and then
block
they
12
suspend the rules on
and block
this.
10
But listen
of
why.
NSC Martin's addition to the City of Muncie.
This is part of the Dill Street.
Motion to introduce.
Okay.
Okay, and it's changing it from residential 4 to residential 5. And
Eileen
Nora
Swanson,
had
Marion
sent
Planning Commission.
paperwork
The
out
applicant in this case is Cardinal Properties.
before
Inc.
the meeting, a week to
this
10 days before the meeting to get it
project
approved.
was previously discussed in
Okay.
relation to vacating Dill Street. So these are the townhomes
AFSCME
that
needs
will
to
be
do a
on
big
either side of
protest
that,
tomorrow. Tomorrow
area
is
of Dill
July
Street.
7th, July 2nd,
As
7/2.
it sits now,
7 to 2.
you have the aerial, but lot 10, 11, and 12 are
I'd like to see them
zoned
close the
differently
fucking bridge
for
down.
some reason than the others. So this is just to
Uh,
create an
Park
equal
some city
zoning
dump trucks
area
and
here,
Wheeling.
change those 3
Yes.
lots to match the rest of the area. So they are asking to change it from an R4 residence zone to an R5 residence zone. And that will clean up the spot zoning in that area. This was also favorably
Right.
recommended by the Plan Commission, 7-0. And then just a reminder, the ordinances tonight for these things are
Yeah, they're-
simply about the rezoning
Yeah, we
of
know what they
the
are.
areas. Nothing to do with the projects, construction of the projects.
No doubt.
Use of the land. It's strictly the rezoning.
So we'll save you the trouble. They vote for this.
Tokar 400 South Walnut as
We can push through this.
Roll call, please.
What were they doing? The council kept forgetting whether they were doing a roll call vote versus a what was going on with that nonsense?
So, Jerry was getting them confused.
All in favor, say aye.
Yeah, but at the beginning, Golian didn't read the thing. She didn't even read the shit for the first couple ones. I'm like, what is going on?
John, they cannot go on strike.
Planning Commission, because it goes hand in hand with ordinance.
Yeah.
15-24. I would like to follow up on the email sent last week and respectfully ask the
See?
council for suspension of rules so they can get started on this project as soon as possible.
I'd like to second that. Thank you.
Rowan Nora all of a sudden got buddy.
Suspension of the rules.
Yes.
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 9-0.
Look at this.
Yes.
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 Mr. President, I would like to make
We got a
adopt ordinance 15-24.
long time listener,
First time caller?
first time commenter here.
Second. Roll call.
Oh,
Yes.
what's up, Nathan?
What's
Yes.
up, Nathan?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so he's
Sincere
we got to
thanks.
pause this for a minute.
Yes.
He's come out, so I can he is saying it, so because I don't ever burn anybody unless I have the actual approval, I don't burn people. So he said, I see that you showed my Facebook comment 7-2, never forget, AFSCME strong. Yeah, somebody sent me this from Mr. Burgess, and
So it wasn't timing issue.
yeah, no, I don't know who, I don't know what it was. I shared this, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. So I appreciate it. I think it's great. We got it running on the bottom. Here's what we got to do. Everybody from AFSCME needs to share the shit out of that for the next 24 hours, because tomorrow is July 2nd, 7-2. It's the perfect day to do it.
All these people say they support. Ask me. Here's what's got to happen. We got to pack that fucking city hall with 800 to 1,200 people, like we did.
Yeah.
Over that
Wales
shit, and show them that the city wants them to give them a contract.
Yeah.
That the voters want it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. We've got to we've got to do something with that. We've got to get people. We've got to get people there. People to
Make the post our cover picture on our Facebook.
Yep.
Make the what? Oh yes, yeah.
Post our cover page on our cover photo on our Facebook.
Because you know them people watch you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'll get that done. We've got to get that done.
We support Ask Me. Give them the contract. Make signs. Let's get out there.
Yeah. Push Ridenhour. Ridenhour is weak. Ridenhour can be pushed into submission. To answer Jackie, Dishman needs to bring that microphone. He needs a lapel mic. He needs something, put that right up next to his throat. Because it's frustrating for sure. All right, here we go.
I don't think the park employees are part of the Ask Me union. I don't know 100%. You'll have to ask Nathan that.
Nathan, are they? I think they are.
They may be, but I don't think they are.
Are the park employees part of AFSCME? I believe they are. The full time. What?
Are you still there?
Are you froze? Yeah, he's still
I'm
here.
not froze.
Oh, anyone that's full time there would be.
August 5th. Yes, Stumble.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are. But here's the thing. They've all got to pull together. They've all got to have their families and their friends, and all them people show up to City Hall.
Yeah.
And show the support for the Ask Me, and you'll get something done.
Yeah. You can do it. You can do it.
Nathan, if I can ask you this, if you can answer it, fine. If you can't, so be it. Across the board, the 10% raise, what's that amount to? How much does that amount to? 87 cents, $2.30 at the most? Is it somewhere between that range? So it's not a whole lot of money. Am I pretty close on that? You don't have to give the exact number. We'll wait 30 seconds because we know it's delayed.
But that it would be interesting. Just kind of a ballpark figure out of everybody. Just kind of a ballpark. What that would be depends. I'm sure. Obviously.
Remember, he said it was only 63 employees with Ask Me, and that not all the people are filled. Not all the positions are filled. So, on the average, can you give us an average?
Are there only 63 people?
That's what they kept saying. There was only 63 people in the Ask Me.
Wow, I would think it would be much more than that. That's crazy. All right, while we're waiting,
Nathan,
I'm gonna go on with this.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to resolutions.
Oh God.
5-24.
Yeah, you can skip 40 minutes right here.
Mine was $2.10 the heavy equipment mechanic.
$2.10 for the heavy equipment mechanic.
Yeah.
And all the way down to roughly 85 cents, maybe.
Well, it would be 10% of whatever they're getting paid.
Mine was $2.10 as a heavy equipment mechanic.
Anybody wishing to speak on this tonight?
Yeah.
There's only 10 park employees now.
Good evening. Nate Howard from the Muncie Land Bank.
Yeah, this lasts about 40
I'm
minutes.
here really to answer any questions.
Okay, yeah.
That you all might have.
So
my
that's correct, GW.
Comments are brief, just basically that,
mostly $1.40-ish.
Yeah, so see, it's not a whole lot.
Struggle with the challenges of making a deteriorating property.
I mean, I understand what they're trying to do here
on across the city,
and I respect it.
Building commissioner,
but they're not the ones that give the rate.
Nonprofit organizations, lots of neighborhood groups.
I can't even.
Problem continues to persist.
Give me a second here. I'm gonna look at this.
Land banks in other places across.
Let me go look at what the actual thing was.
Growth from industry and then leaving have found land banks.
Resolution.
really great tools.
But
designed to
I
deal,
want to get what they
addressing
actually
this
what
issue
the
that
actual
the land bank
meeting was.
created to
Basham
address.
keeps saying it. This is just for
We were created by
support
city ordinance in 2017, so
of
there's
the
a distinction
council.
between us and other nonprofits.
Support of the
created
Muncie
by
Land
you all.
Bank and encouraging city funding to be
And
provided
in our
in
short
the
history,
2025
really since
proposed municipal
2019,
budget.
we've acquired a total of 94 properties. We've
Right,
sold
John.
back to the public 69 of those. Many of those were
And they're
encumbered
not wanting to give the
properties that
people their
rejected by the
contract.
market.
Yeah.
And 62 of those 69 we've sold to local people.
Right
That's
now,
one
it
of the
probably
things the
spends
land
that much
bank
every
really
day.
Prioritizes getting property
The
back
raise
into local folks' hands. We have
for an hour on
we're
donuts
set
and
up to
coffee and
vet
shit.
people that bid
I
on
bet
our
they spend more on
properties,
coffee a day than that.
and kind of, again, a distinction from how a lot of property that's gone through tax delinquency.
Because I can
that's been
guarantee you, they drink a
abandoned is
lot of
handled,
coffee and eat a lot of donuts
here
there.
in Delaware County. We vet and we make sure that the folks
Yeah,
that are
Nathan.
That's
wanting
true.
to receive our property
10%
are folks
is
that have the
great.
financial capacity and the know-how to do what they're proposing to do. We have acquired 40 properties from
MRC.
We were awarded 40 properties from the commissioners, Delaware County commissioners, in April. All those properties are tied to multi-organizational partnerships.
This guy goes on
Community-based, neighborhood-based.
Yeah,
and
so
tied to
he-
plans
the-
for housing development, and we have
There-
big projects that we're working on.
What the resolution read, I'm going to read it again. A resolution reaffirming support of the Muncie Land Bank and encouraging city funding to be provided in the 2025 proposed municipal budget. So they're just wanting the city of Muncie to give them some funds when they budget here in the next month or so.
And they're asking the council to support it. And this guy, after he's done speaking, they would have voted 9-0 to support it. It's just a resolution. It has no teeth. They're not held responsible if they don't get it.
Yeah.
So
it's
a resolution.
I tell people this all the time. There are people that are sitting. There are some that sit at the state house in Indiana, and probably some in every state in America, and then people who do this at the federal government level. They will not vote on anything if it's a resolution. Resolutions are like the feel-good stuff, like let's name this stretch of highway after this senator, or let's name this park after, and they're like, that's a resolution. And they're like, no, that's the feel-good crap. We are here to do the business of the public, and I'm only here for the business. Resolutions, and so there's literally people who will not vote every time on resolutions because it has no teeth. It's got nothing.
Nothing. Yes, GW. August 5th, have everybody come up there at the council meeting, pack that freaking city hall, pack that parking lot, and not for a raise, it's for their contract, for their union contract.
Yeah. Listen, August 5th, Monday, August 5th, that will be, let me tell you, that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be the 5-year anniversary from the Monday, August 5th, 2019 council meeting.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Where there was 1,200 people in there and they couldn't get them in the door?
On Monday, August 5th, 2019, 1,200 people showed up to a city council meeting in Muncie, and they could not get them in the door. They were wrapped around the building. They were out into the parking lot and down the road, and it was absolute insanity.
And you could hear them inside the building.
Oh yeah. It was crazy. And what I said to everybody that night when I talked to those people, I was talking to people there and we were working the crowd, doing all that stuff. I was saying, this is great. But the thing is, what we need is 400 of these people to show up Wednesday morning at the Board of Works. We need, you know, half these people, 600 people to show up next month. We need people because here's what happens. Showing up one time like that freaks them out, but it's just a flash in the pan unless it happens every time. And there's no reason why shit like that can't happen. But people get so afraid and they get so weirded out and they get to the point where they're like, oh, they're burnt out. It's not fun. People do it more for the drama than for the actual, like, we want to make things better.
Yes.
We want to do better. And I'm like, man, it's really bad when people do that shit, because it really is something that you can make a massive change if you're willing to do it.
And you don't even have to talk. You just go show up. Just be a warm body there at City Hall. Bring you a sign. Give them their contract. They deserve it. You've admitted that they deserve it. Give them their damn contract.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. It's sad that it's like that.
Hey, Kate, can you put the previous comment back up about the non-union paying dues and stuff? We got to go over that. Can we go back about 3? No.
What are you talking about?
It was a longer comment down there.
Stumblefoot.
Something about the non-union.
I'll probably be late.
Go back one more.
No, it was this one, Stumblefoot. It was this one.
You have to have unions because it forces the non-union employees pay their fair wage. It's called compensation. Here's the thing. Since the right to work became law, you don't have to pay union dues. Okay? You don't have to be in the union. And they still have to represent you. But that does not mean they have to represent you at the best of their ability. Okay? Does that make sense? They're going to go in and represent you. But since right to work come in when Mitch Daniels signed that in back in about 2015, or not Mitch Daniels, but the other piece of shit, Mike Pence. That all changed. But you still get everything. That is correct. You still get everything. And the unions still have to represent you, timing issue. They still have to represent you. And any union that has to represent somebody for free and not getting the benefits out of it, they're still going to represent them. My union is a little different because we have a hiring board. So if you don't pay your dues, you don't go on the hiring board, they don't call you out for work, period. So, you know, some of them's a little different than others, but with Ask Me, they can still be part of the union and not pay their dues. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
The union still has to represent them. So
I want to show you this here real quick. This is something.
Maybe I can get the council. Maybe I can get. Yeah, that's a good looking picture. Maybe I can get the council to let me go in on them negotiations as a 10th.
That would be hilarious.
As a 10th council member, because I'm probably one of the. Yeah, there's probably a couple that know the rules.
That's hilarious.
Doomed Hoosiers to slave away at Loeb. Yeah, Mitch Daniels said he wasn't going to sign it, but he started it, and then that piece of shit Mike Pence is the one that put it into action. That is correct, Michael Goodman. At will, they can fire you for any reason, unless you got a union that can back you up, file arbitration against you.
Well, and it's not that you can't be fired. You can still be fired. Then you just have them arbitration, and You got to be able to sit that out and hang tight doing nothing while you're going through that process, which, as everybody knows, it's not something, it's not a quick process. What?
David Williams says unions are trash. He's never been in a union, so.
All right. Here we go.
Non-union people are people that's fucking working and not getting a good wage. Enjoy your $400 a week paycheck.
All right, here we go. Jesus Christ.
Getting things going.
All right, so this guy goes on and on and on, and then there's a parade of people that show up.
Tax money that's going to the.
And they ask questions and ask questions and ask questions.
Clear, we're not. David, until you're a part of a union, don't talk about it. You have no fucking clue what you're talking about, David Williams.
This just goes and goes, man, he's scary looking dude. I've never really seen him that close. Kind of looks like Michael Jackson a little bit.
Well, you guys let the Teamsters fuck you.
Jesus. So these people keep getting up, person after person. Everybody loves the Muncie Land Bank. It's a great idea. It's wonderful. Everybody wants them. Put some money into it. Spend some money. Let them do the thing. I think it's fantastic. Budget some money to go their way. Hey, I got an idea. Pull some money out of edit and maybe stick it in the land bank. I would be all for it.
Yes.
Yes.
They, of course, vote for that.
Yes.
All right.
We support you guys going to Dan to get the money. Good luck getting it.
Yes.
And Dave, I don't mean nothing personal. We can still be friends. But yeah, the Teamsters did suck. Your union is only as good as the people that's in it.
Have Troy Waters.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Troy Waters didn't want to say
Audie
it.
Barber.
And Audie Barber wanted to talk. I don't understand why when she reads it, she like flips her hand like,
resolution now.
You really want to talk?
I challenge every one of you guys to put some teeth in it and try to get it in the budget, get them folks some money, because it is a big help for the city to have that as a tool. I discussed the property at 26 and Walnut Street where they have cleared the dirt and it's just sitting there and nothing's going on. It's been like that for about 3 or 4 months now. A lot of these projects that are still in limbo, there's not been much done. I drive by the crisis center every day pretty much, and not a whole lot's going on at that place anymore. They got it all looking pretty good, but as far as finishing it and everything, it's still in limbo where it's at. So I know that I've heard that the new fire station is going to have to be moved because of soil issues with the corner of Centennial and MLK. So I had heard that they're going to try to move it down to Highland. I don't know if any of you folks have heard that or not, but that's a possibility that's going to happen.
That's a possibility that's going to happen.
Yet, so keep it under your hat. Don't let them know you guys know, okay?
That's funny.
Keep it under your hat.
That's going to be an issue because we spent quite a bit of money to do soil samples there. Find out the soil samples come back bad is what I've heard. So
soil sample.
It's going to be an issue, moving the property, moving the fire station. It sounds to me like they're going to have to start all over again. I hope not, but spoke to Mr. President Dishman about an ordinance and all you guys to introduce an ordinance to.
I threw him under the bus here, didn't I?
If you're a city employee, that you can't be a city vendor.
I threw him under the bus.
I'm still challenging you, every one of you
All right.
guys, to write an ordinance up. Mr. Dishman, you told me you would, and we're still in limbo. Has nothing to do with the other commission that you guys have in place now.
I don't know what you're talking about there.
Under the resolution, you need to make it an ordinance to where it's got teeth. Cannot have
resolutions,
Yeah.
because they don't have no teeth. If you make it an ordinance, you guys got a backbone to stand on and make stuff happen. So do your jobs when people come to you and say, hey, this make a nice ordinance, and continue on with it and do the best job you can. Don't just make it a one night a month project. I'm not even sitting up here, and I make it a lot more nights than one night a month. So lots going on in this city right now, and I hope everybody's got their eyes open to it. Thank you.
Not, I guess, not going on in this city.
It's in the attorney's hands. He's drawing something up on it.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dishman.
And what Dishman,
Kristopher Bilbrey.
what Dishman mumbled there was they're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Who's
I wanted to, bring you
Didn't-
guys
didn't
up
even
to
say his
speed on
name.
a couple things since last time we talked last month. First and foremost, today is the 183rd day that you guys have been in office, which
look,
means on the
182nd
1st of
episode.
January, and actually, what?
182nd episode, and it's 183rd day they've been in office.
No, it's his 234th episode.
Oh,
Enough
that's
said.
okay. I'm sorry.
It's the 183rd day they've been in office, which means there's been 182 days that, if you listen to me, I explain it.
Okay. I apologize.
You're fine. For that, I had sent you guys all emails, and then obviously since then, that means we are 182 days without a response from Mr. Basham. Again, he refuses to respond. And
He's
I'm
got
going
a
to come up
shitty
here and
grin
say
on
it
his
every
face.
time until he does, or he's out of office. What'd you say?
And he's got a shit-eating great grin on his
Yeah,
face.
always. I just
shitty
cannot
grin.
stand it. One or the other. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's irresponsible. And I think it makes him look bad, and it reflects poorly on all of you. So I heard Miss Selvey ask somebody at the beginning of the meeting, please notify all of the counselors. I don't know if you guys' emails work or the emails don't work. You guys haven't updated anybody on that. But I know, for example, I've been able to communicate with every single one of you, save for Mr. Basham. So if his email is not working, that's a problem. He should be looking into that. But, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but if so, that's even worse. Okay. Moving on, I want to give an update about the Dan camp from the beginning of the month or last month. You guys talked at the meeting about whether it was open to the public or not. It was up here, posted for weeks that it was an open meeting that night that you guys were here. It still hung. I kind of thought that somebody from the administration would take it down the next day. It remained there for the remainder of that week. I came here on Friday and it was still here. Since it was still hanging, I decided to go ahead and make my way to Angola. I drove up to Angola and was turned away from the meeting. Ridenauer said that they tried to go above and beyond, and they wanted to. He felt that they were being transparent, and apparently his version of transparency was kicking me out of the meeting. He would not let me attend the Saturday meeting either, and so, there goes transparency. Lastly, also, I feel like it's important because you guys might know what's going on as far as the salary ordinance, and the administration might act like they know. But it's very important when you're talking about the Indiana Code 36473. The administration came up here and they read, compensation fixed under this section may be increased or decreased by the executive during the budget year for which it is fixed. That is section C. It is important for the record, for the public at home, for you guys, for them, to know that in the English language, we read from left to right, from top to bottom. And generally, we go in alphabetical order, A, B, C, D. We don't jump around. Section A says, this section does not apply to compensation paid by a city to members of its police and fire department. Section B says, subject to the approval of the city legislative body, that's you all, the city executive shall fix the compensation of each appointed officer, deputy, so on and so forth. Compensation must be fixed under this section no later than November 1st of each year for the ensuing budget year. Section C then is what Mr. Wright and Mr. Wigley has stated. And then section D says, notwithstanding subsection B, the city clerk may be, with the approval of the legislative body, fix the salaries of the deputies, employees appointed under yada, yada, yada. So I just want it to be on the record that when they say, well, this is the law, we pulled the law up, this is what the law reads, they're doing it from bottom to top and from right to left. So it's not in proper order. So thank you for tabling that and continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, no one else? Okay.
Now, I'm
I just
so
wanna make sure
glad
that people know this coming.
because I was going to mention this, but I felt like I was running out of time and I wasn't going to push it. So I'm actually glad that Nora brings this up, and timing issues said he wants to talk about this as well. So I'm glad that she brought this up. Here goes this.
Up this week is the 4th of July. And we were all made aware that the Wheeling Avenue, which is normally open for spectators, will not be open this year. And so I'm just trying to help the administration get that information out there so that people will know not to come and bring your lawn chairs and sit in them on the street, because it will be open to traffic. So that's all. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else got any comments?
Yeah, no shit, Chris.
Yeah, but that's not, I can't do that, can we?
That's not.
Is there a
Sarah,
reason why they're opening up Wheeling during 4th of July? Because I'm very concerned about that.
City council, I mean, as far as myself, I received an email at around 10 o'clock this morning. I'm just trying to make sure people are aware, because
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I'm very concerned, because that's a spot that a lot of people go to. So, and I'm afraid that people are going to try to make up their own barricades and stuff. So I'm just really concerned about. Yeah.
That would be questions and for the administration. So contact the mayor's office and just express your concerns.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Be safe.
I don't go there, but.
Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that.
We're adjourned.
Okay, so they adjourned the meeting, and that's that, and it is what it is. So that's good. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is the email that Nora was talking about. I received this as a press release. I received this as a press release at 9:59 this morning. The press release from the city of Muncie says, it's from Michelle Owen. It says, hello, this is a notice that Wheeling Avenue will not be closed on the 4th. The street has not been very well attended in recent years, and it takes a squad car posted at each side street in order to adequately protect pedestrians from drunk driving accidents. The walk over the bridge will be available for watching fireworks, as well as Minnetrista, Muncie Central, or many other downtown vantage points. Thank you for helping us get the word out. And that's that.
Of course, if the mayor says it, it's true. You know that.
You know, that's clearly everything's okay.
There's 500 to 1,000 people on it last year, I think.
It's ludicrous that they're trying to do this. I don't understand why this man, he seriously, he is so...
He wears me out, man.
I don't get it. I don't understand him. He does the most asinine, backwards, dumb shit.
It's probably not him. It's probably one of his cronies. Let's do something different.
Yeah, right.
Here's the rule. I found it. I found it.
Right.
I found it.
Yeah. I cannot understand this. And what's amazing about this is the city of Muncie posted this. They posted this on their website,
That's
on the
probably true,
Facebook page. What?
Stumble says that tells us secretly that there's not enough police officers.
That's a very good possibility. Absolutely. Yeah.
The mayor just doesn't want to admit that he fucked up with the Y project and there's not going to be enough space for parking and all this other stuff down on the hill. So they're making up some horse shit about drunk drivers. Oh yeah, there's drunk drivers driving. So let's have hundreds of people lining the streets of Wheeling, have a drunk driver go down, jump the curb and kill half the crowd. That'll be fun. That's much better optics than just admitting that you fucked up.
Fucked up, put the Y there, and
yeah. Well, I tell you, the city, if you have not been to the city of Muncie's Facebook page and looked at the comments under this post from 13 hours ago, on the city of Muncie's, it's a post, weather permitting, we will have fireworks as usual on the 4th of July. This year, Wheeling will be closed during fireworks, will not be closed during fireworks. You can watch fireworks from the sidewalks on Fallen Heroes Memorial Bridge or any of the other downtown vantage points like Muncie Central or Minnetrista. There are 108 shares. There are 317 comments on that comment. And the city of Muncie does not get comments like that. Everybody is on there breaking their head saying, you guys are idiots. This is stupid. Why are you doing this? What's happening?
Let's explain something. You've got the county that would probably come in and provide 2 squad cars. I know
Ball State, man. If we had a relationship with any of these people, it could probably get done.
Gaston Police, Albany Police, Daleville Police, Selma Police. Somebody would come in and block that bridge off and wouldn't charge the city nothing for it.
Yeah, it's really crazy what they're doing.
You could take a couple of dump trucks from the street department, park them there, and they're not going to hurt those if they speed through there and hit a dump truck.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
Early, everybody needs to get on there and say something. Dan is doing a rain dance right now to save his ass this year. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the
yeah.
Let me see I want to pull this up and show you this real quick. Someone had posted this and I thought that this was brilliant. Oh, here this is.
Ridenour sitting in the middle of the bridge by himself.
Yeah. Someone sent me a message earlier that said there's probably a really good vantage point from McCullough Boulevard, or we could all rent the Eagle's Nest.
Or they could go upstairs at the 3rd floor at the
county building.
At the county building. I was joking about that shit.
What?
About Ridenour sitting in the middle of Wheeling by himself.
Yeah. Well, so you see this here? We've got the purple hippo drinking a beer, driving in a car, driving down the road, crashing into people. He's really hurt this kid down here. I think I don't even know what's going on. It's like he's doing a headstand. And I don't know. That's really, look at this guy. Look, he's got no arms and an arm coming out of his back. I'm telling you, AI is scary shit.
It is.
This is really, really weird stuff.
The only thing that would be better is if somebody put Dan's face on
that. So
just think, we only got about 3 years left to start a new find us a new mayor.
I'm telling you who's gearing up for the run. You know who's gearing up for the run.
Yes.
I don't care what they say. Yeah. I hear her little snippets and her sound bites. She's collecting them. She's keeping track and knowing when to cut those out. She is gearing up to run bigger than shit, I'm telling y'all. And if you're not familiar, if you don't know who I am talking about,
dun, dun, dun.
She who shall not be named. I mean, look, I've been pretty friendly.
She's doing a pretty good job right now.
She's done a pretty good job, so it is what it is. I'll let it ride. But that's that. Before we leave, I also want to tell everybody happy. This is everybody didn't know July 4th's coming right around the corner, but everybody didn't know that today was an actual holiday as well. And if you didn't know, today, my friends, is actually July 1st is Happy New Law Day here in the state of Indiana.
Oh yeah.
And that means that it's a great day. July 1st is a day for Hoosiers to kick back, relax, and realize that the super duper majority of Republicans running the state are not conservatives, and they do not care about our state constitution nor the United States Constitution. Crazy times when the few Democrats there are running around the state house care more about citizens' constitutional rights than the so-called Republicans do.
Yep.
For more on this, tune in over the next couple days. We're going to be talking. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. Brandon brought this to my attention after we got off the show the other day, but and really when he brought it to my attention, it was a little more concerning, but I had not heard this. I'd been asleep. Apparently slept on this, but Senate Bill 17 is a bill that was trying to protect the kiddos, and they were doing it in some kind of one of these asinine ways, and it was violating people's First Amendment rights. Very horrible situation, but there have been the court has struck it down and blocked it, saying it was an unconstitutional law, so it did not go into effect today, but they're going to be fighting that out. That's just a little, if you want to look up Senate Bill 17, you can do that on your own. I'm not going to dive into it and tell you what it is, but that just will give you a little bit of some homework to do. So we'll be talking about that in the next couple coming days. Also, for those of you that did not see, we have some breaking news. And this is out of Washington, D.C. breaking news. What?
Biden's still running.
Yeah, no, that's not it. The breaking news is old Vicky, Representative Victoria Sparks, charged for having a handgun at the Dulles airport.
Wait a minute, she's a senator, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a United States senator, not a representative, not senator.
Yeah, right.
United States Congresswoman. Representative Victoria Sparks was charged with a weapons violation Friday after a gun was found in her carry-on luggage at Washington, D.C. area airport, Wish TV has reported. The TSA staff at Dulles International Airport in Northern Virginia detected an unloaded .380 firearm during screening, the TV outlet reported. Sparks' team issued the following statement. Last Friday, Representative Sparks accidentally carried an empty handgun in her suitcase with no magazine or bullets. I mean, why carry the gun if you don't have any magazine or bullets? Like, what's the point of this? She going to do pistol whip somebody? Which she did not realize was in the pocket of her suitcase while going through security at Dulles Airport. Representative Sparks was issued a citation and proceeded on her international flight to the OSCE-PA meeting in Europe. Let's see here. Let's get this crap out of the way. What are we doing here? Get this going. Yeah.
Had she had put it in her luggage that goes, underneath the plane, she would have been all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't know. With it being Europe, with it being an international flight, that might not have been the case.
But she's
you
still
can definitely fly like that in America.
Now, are they in session?
No.
Okay.
But I don't think that matters.
Well, I think it does.
I mean, I think they can carry regardless of being in or out of session. But I don't think they still can't carry on an airplane.
I don't know.
They can't. They've charged her.
They've
What are you
charged her,
talking about?
Well,
what?
It's Dulles is in D.C. Where'd you say it was?
It's in Virginia.
Yeah, D.C.
Sparks.
D.C.?
What?
Who runs D.C. courts? The Democrats.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, right. It was just it's TSA. It's the feds are the ones that got her. Yeah. Representatives in Indiana's 5th congressional district, which includes Hamilton County and northeastern central Indiana, after initially saying she wasn't going to run for re-election, yada yada yada, she will face Democrat Deborah Pickett in November. Of course, they'll make a big deal about this.
Oh, yeah.
The weapons charged was a Class 1 misdemeanor, punishable by up to 12 months in jail and $2,500 in fines, according to Wish TV. And this is just
Keyword
stupid.
there. Keyword there. Misdemeanor.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't affect her.
If it was you, it would be a felony.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that technically, I guess it's still a
representative.
Yeah, right. The bottom line is, I don't think that this is a tremendously crazy deal. I mean, I could see it being. Listen, I carry guns in weird places all the time. I definitely would know if I was taking it to the airport. I would make sure I would know I wasn't taking it. But the bottom line is, I don't know what the deal is with international situation, but if she would have carried it underneath, she would have been fine. If she was going from Virginia to Indiana, she would have been perfectly fine. Going to Europe, though, I don't know. So I'm sure that'll be a big deal, and they'll make a big to do about that. It
probably would have been worse if she'd have got caught in Europe with it.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah. So.
Well, they did pass that law today, or they did. Supreme Court upheld the president's right for immunity.
Yeah, I want to read this before I comment on it because I want to read. I want to read everybody's. I want to read all of the. I want to read the dissent and everything. But I a couple people have asked me about it, and I was looking. I skimmed through it. And basically, it looks like it's always looked. They're just kind of upholding this, but I want to look through everything before I comment on it.
Yeah, they're going to kick it back to the states, whether it's a crime that has nothing to do with the presidency. So
sure, and if it's a state, if it's a state crime, it is what it is. You know, it should be in the state's hands.
That's the Supreme Court not wanting to make a judgment. They just ship it back down to the states. Bring it up again later.
I'm fine with that.
Yep. That's what it works.
Yeah. So you got anything else?
No. Getting pretty tired. I gotta go down to the gas station for my wife. She ain't feeling too good tonight. So I love you, baby, if you're still watching. Guys, support these unions, support this Ask Me, and get together on August 5th. Bring your signs. Let's pack that courthouse or the city hall and get a contract for these people.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, I'm getting pretty tired. I still get up at 5:30, even though I don't work. So,
all right. Well, get a hold of me.
All right. We'll talk to you.
Yeah. Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Audie, the 10th Councilor Barber. I want to thank Audie for coming on and talking with us. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. Please, if you have not considered doing us a favor and doing all of these things, YouTubing it if you don't watch via YouTube. Like and subscribe if you haven't done that. Ring my bell if you haven't done that. I'm done hearing from you because it's the end of the show. And share this shit with everyone you know. We will be back tomorrow. I don't really know what's going on tomorrow. There's a possibility that I might know, or it could be something we'll just figure out along the way. Tomorrow is Tuesday. You guys have a great Tuesday. Have a good rest of your Monday night. And yeah, we'll see you guys all later. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless. Have a good night. Goodbye. Well, thank you. I'm just glad that Kate wasn't raptured.
I don't think that's likely to happen. I'm driving the bus to home. You all right?
Hey, det är väl ett sådär, det var grön av ner, rullade, över och finns för mig på en edge.